I can count on one hand the number of times I've gotten really ticked off at something that happened to a high school sports team. But I was steamed last March at something that happened to the Canton hockey team. And I know I'm not alone. Sit back and soak in the excellence of a team that hopefully won't get snubbed for the second straight year. There's a story being written inside the doors of the Canton Ice House. A story of dominance, a story of respect, or maybe lack of it. The Bulldogs of Canton piling up wins. Every time they're together on the ice, the intensity is magnified. The focus on success, crystal clear.
These guys just have that competitiveness that really shines through, not only in games, but also on the practice ice. You see it. The reason why we only have two colors in practice is because it's green versus white every day. And every day they play like it's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals or the state championship game. They want to beat each other, and that really does carry over to games.
It doesn't take long when you look around the Ice House walls to find the league champion banner, which needs to be updated yet again. The tradition of excellence is unquestioned, and the bond this year's team shares was formed at an early age.
Pretty much since the first time we, started skating. So I think just playing with each other, our whole lives, we all know what each other are going to do.
We look forward to coming to the rink every day in the winter and just being together, being around each other. Definitely a big thing that we've been playing together for a long time.
It's like building friendships and coming to high school. It's like all getting to play together is one of the best feelings I've ever had.
The other feeling this crew enjoys, the feeling of winning. In fact, over the last 40 games, they haven't lost.
We get everybody's best every single night, but at the same time, I think they've embraced it at this point in the season. We don't talk about records, we don't talk about streaks, we just talk about that game.
And they certainly don't like to focus on what happened last year. When they do, there's no bitterness. The undefeated 2019 Bulldogs were bypassed for a spot in the Super 8 tournament.
They reacted like adults. They really did.
Coach broke the news to us that we weren't going to get in.
All the guys were kind of upset.
There was definitely a smirk amongst our captains.
We were all just fired up. Everyone in the locker room was kind of just like, all right, let's just go win Division II.
The mentality on the team was really whatever game we're going to get, we're going to play as hard as we can, hopefully win.
And they did.
That's exactly what we did. We kind of just ran through Division II.
We just put our minds to it.
We said we wanted to win D2, and we did it.
They did it all right, steamrolling their opponents en route to the school's first state title since 2010. But here we are, once again, among the top teams in the state. Will Canton be given the respect it deserves if the Cards line up as they did last year? Coach Schumann did everything he could to try to bulk up the schedule, because that was the biggest criticism of Canton's success last year. This year against D1 teams, the Bulldogs have clearly proven they can hold their own.
I like playing in those games more than slower-paced games. It's a lot more fun. You get the best out of everyone.
A D2 team crashing the Super 8 is not unprecedented. It's not like we're talking about reinventing the wheel. Just giving a team worthy of competing a chance to prove what they can do on the biggest stage.
Bigger programs think that they're just better than us, We just want to go out there every day and prove that we are one of the best programs in the state.
Do they use the slight of 2019 as motivation?
Definitely, but we're a new team this year. We got a ton of new players. Last year's last year, and this year's this year, so we'll see what happens.
Remarkable, Tom. When the Super 8 started, it was sort of exclusively for Catholic Conference teams. I remember how hard it was for a public school to get in there. I thought that bias was over now. What are their chances of going this year?
Well, they've tried to do a little bit more than they did last year by scheduling some of the D1 teams, but Coach Schumann told me he tried even harder and was told no, because many of these D1 schools view it as a lose-lose. If you lose the game, then you really lose your own status, and now you open the door for Canton. But I'll say this, they went undefeated last year and didn't make it. They proceeded to kill everybody in the playoffs, finished 25-0-1. Now, I'd love for Canton to go undefeated again, get to that point and have this be a controversy again, but should they get snubbed, and I suggested this to the coach, if they don't go to the Super 8, they win the D2 championship, I think they should challenge any one of those 8 teams to play anywhere, anytime. You set the date, you pick the sheet of ice, and let's play.
Vince McMahon issuing the challenge. I love it.
Pay-per-view, right here on Boston 25.
I love the idea.
It's a business
They should be rewarded for the success they've had over the years. I don't care what division you're in. Dominance is dominance, and they've been as dominant as any high school team in the state in any sport.
You just have to look at that banner, which has to be updated. 2020 league champs again. It shows you it's a program, it's a community, it's a village.